Hey everyone, it's John Taylor. How are you guys doing today? Thanks for subscribing to my channel. Today is Wednesday, November 26th, 2025. Got a lot of news to go over today. Please give my video a like and a share. Let's get the word out. Please subscribe to my channel too. So going over the geopolitics every day and socioeconomics, kind of looking at the news headlines, getting ready for Thanksgiving. I don't know about all of my wonderful viewers, but I'm so delighted to have Thanksgiving, and just turkey and cranberries and sweet potatoes and green beans and all the wonderful accoutrements that go with having a great Thanksgiving. So, economic calendar, I go over it first, geopolitics, socioeconomics, and then I give free alpha at the end. So stay with me to the end. And again, not an investment advisor, not a commodity trading advisor, informational purposes only. Make sure you read the risk disclosure. But look at the today, okay, 8:30 we had the economic calendar, initial jobless claims, and then durable good orders, and durable good minus transportation. And then we got some Federal Reserve beige book. So that's this afternoon, at 2 p.m. But got a light calendar, the holidays, everyone's taking a look at getting ready for the Thanksgiving and Christmas and all the wonderful holidays. So let's look at what's being reported on bar chart. The stock market's just opened up, and let's take a look at, I'm going to give you free alpha, so you got to stay with me to the end. So I'm looking, just the teaser, I'm looking at MicroStrategy stock, and then also some of the AI stocks, the artificial intelligence, and then quantum computing shares. So S&P 500's up nicely. So let's look at bar chart real quick. Real quick here. Bar chart. Today is being reported stock index futures gain on Fed rate cut optimism. Is the Federal Reserve going to save the day, save the economy, and lower interest rates? Hyperinflation, the de-dollarization event, and the U.S. economic data is on tap. So we have it. The government's finally opened back up again. So this is what's being reported. This is my daily routine on my trading desk, in my news desk, and prop trading. So I do prop trading for myself. I was a financial advisor years ago, but what I do is I give myself financial advice, and then I take my own financial advice. So this is my daily routine. It's only about a half hour a day that I spend on this. So Kremlin confirms U.S. envoy visits as talks on ending war in the Ukraine, peace in the Ukraine. Trump's working on that. I think Trump's doing a great job. Fewer Americans sought unemployment benefits last week as job cuts stay low. France's top court upholds, campaign financing. Can't talk about that because it's not PC. Oracle stock is underperforming the Dow. Oracle, they've been doing a lot of work with AI and data centers and data center valley up there in Virginia, I believe. Merck outperforming the healthcare sector. Bank of America stock performance compared to other banks. Warren Buffett's been selling shares in Apple Computer and Bank of America, and then recently made acquisition of some shares of Google, which is amazing. Walt Disney stock in the news. High dividend yielding aristocrats. Home Depot. Home Depot has been empty. There's a lot of news about the retailer. So let's go over major market overview real quick. S&P 500 minis up 21 points. The stock market's open about 2 minutes. The Nasdaq E-mini up 126 points. Dow futures up 110 points. The VIX is off. So VIX is about 19. So US Dixie, the dollar at 99.825. The 10-year, the yield on the 10-year, 113-145. Crude oil, bearish conditions at 57.86. Gold is up nicely at $4,180 an ounce. And silver bullion pumping at 52.50 per ounce. I own thousands of these bad boys too that I've been selling. squeaking out a few on my eBay account. They're doing really well. And then now I got to find, where do I take those hyperinflated profits that I'm earning in my silver bullion trade? Again, not a commodity trading advisor, so I got to find at home, where's the value? So we're going to discuss that at the end. So stay with me to the end. Nvidia's active, off about 3%. Google doing awesome, up about $1.50, 1.53%. Tesla active. Microsoft, Mr. Softy active. Google, Alphabet C up 1.62%. Advanced Micro Devices off again, about 4%. Oracle off about 1.62%. Meta up, doing a lot of work, Meta, with the data centers and artificial intelligence. Booking Holdings is up, active, and Chevron. Chevron's an active stock this morning. So that's, that's what we have on bar chart. So let's take a look at what's being reported on, let's say, Yahoo Finance. Yahoo Finance is reporting. A lot of it's the same news, but we kind of look at different perspective. JP Morgan sees a path to 8,000 for the S&P next year, for the S&P 500. The bank strategist thinks 2026 will be another good year for U.S. investors. I agree too, and it's the reason because of hyperinflation. So stock futures tick up in the countdown to Thanksgiving. Hassett as the Fed frontrunner. Here's a look at Trump's finalist. So NVIDIA denies it in circular financing. Two big short sellers disagree. New York City comptroller pushed to drop BlackRock creates test for, U.S. mortgage apps surge. So interest rates are lower and they're probably doing the HELOCs too, the home equity loans. Toyota has figured out what makes Trump happy. HSBC news. Chinese regulators block ByteDance from using NVIDIA chips. A lot of wars going on with chips and computer chips and Intel and Cisco and Microsoft and Apple Computer. Deere outlook falls short as farm rebound remains elusive. John Deere stocks off about 5%. And so with that, Tether stablecoin downgrade weak in the S&P 500 assessment, it says. Enhanced to list on Nasdaq, 1.2 billion SPAC deal. Realty check for EU, layoffs are piling up, raising anxiety workers for, people are losing their jobs to robotics and the artificial intelligence and to automation. So how do you hedge against that? You can check out the links below too for my new ebook that I penned on agentic AI. So you can learn how to use large language models and the artificial intelligence. Is the stock market open on Thanksgiving? Oil holds near month low as Trump hails progress in Ukraine. So China repeats call for Dutch takeover of Nexperia to be canceled. So here we go. Stocks rebound, Dell and Hewlett-Packard earnings, NVIDIA. So let's see the three things. Let's see what this, U.S. stocks rising Friday morning. So let's see here. It's Wall Street optimism around the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates. So the whole narrative is the de-dollarization event. The U.S. dollar is being debased. You got the stable coins, the big beautiful bill. Stocks rise, setting sights on fourth straight win. So this is what's being reported on Yahoo Finance. So Warren Buffett's top investor picks for his Thanksgiving letter. Deutsche Bank sees S&P running as high as 8,000. I believe so too, because the U.S. dollar is dipping, in its value as it becomes debased, and then the debt, the U.S. national debt, is being rolled into stable coins, and so that's all can be tracked and surveilled and everything. So welcome to the robotics situation. My goodness. Workday is off about 8%. Man, these stocks are up. Urban Outfitters is active. So that's what's being reported on Yahoo Finance. So let's take a look at the left, the news on CNN. I kind of look at both sides of the news here on the left side and then the right side with Fox News also too. So Trump brushes off concerns about Witkoff's call with Russian after leak. New phone call transcripts provide rare insight on how the president's top negotiator advised his Russian counterpart on how to approach Trump. So there's been talk about sedition and then court martials. So Hong Kong, there's a fire, big fire in Hong Kong. Got to pray for those people. Colombian president says oil is at the heart of U.S. pressure campaign on Venezuela. So most wars are fought over or on lands that are rich in natural resources. So Venezuela, if I'm not mistaken, is part of OPEC. Mexico has a lot of oil too. So we'll see. So this is what's being reported. 73 million people are expected to hit the road. So a lot of driving. So that's for Thanksgiving. All right, so let's look at Fox News here. Stay with me though. You get free alpha at the end. Fox News is reporting. Let's take a look at this. Fox News, University School District call for decolonization day. Okay, campus radicals. Housing complex goes up in flames there. Okay. So here we go. Officials crack down after, okay, a lot of political unrest here in the good old US of A. So this is what's being reported on Fox. A lot of it's not PC, so I almost can't even, it's too hot for the tube to talk about. So let's take a look. Let's see what's going on with stocks. S&P 500's pumping. Is that a new all-time high for the S&P? I doubt it. That's close to it. So what's the reason the S&P 500's going up? The answer is the same thing. The dollar is dipping like this. So the anatomy of stock market corrections always are the same thing. You have irrational exuberance, the US dollar fiat currency being debased, and then precious metals. So with that, you're seeing now the insiders, the Zuckerbergs and Bezoses and all of the insiders at the big tech companies are selling their shares while at the same time the tech company shares, companies that are doing repurchase of their stock shares. It says here, Americans splurge at restaurants and bars like there's no tomorrow. So PPI inflation bounces back. Have that. And the AI spending war and debt pile up. So these companies, the tech stocks, the insiders are smart. They're getting good counsel. They're selling their shares that are hyperinflated, and then they're purchasing tangible assets like gold bullion and real estate and building bunkers. And then at the same time, their companies, board of directors and all this are doing what are known as stock repurchases. And some of those repurchases are being facilitated with borrowings with debt. So, and then combined with the hyperinflation, it's making the tech stocks go up. So let's see what MicroStrategy is doing this morning. So I've been accumulating some strategy shares. Strategy is up nicely this morning. Pre-market up about 0.5% at 173. So I continue to purchase Block, B-L-O-K, owns the Amplified Blockchain Tech, not financial advice, I'm just giving you free alpha, opinion only. So it's exciting, like Amplified Blockchain Technology ETF, the symbol's Block, B-L-O-K. So here it goes. It owns companies like Robinhood Markets. How's Robinhood doing this morning? I've owned Robinhood shares for well over 5 years. Robinhood's pumping up about 8-9% this morning. So I continue to own it. It's one of my biggest holdings in Block. Galaxy Digital Holding, pumping this morning. Looking good, up pre-market, up about 5%. This is me doing my research for myself, for my prop trading desk. HUD 8 stock is up nicely in pre-market, up about 2%. What else? Cipher Mining stock's up. Is it? Let's take a look here. Cipher Mining in pre-market was up about 8%. Looking good. Clean Spark, CLSK, run a little longer today, about 15 minutes. Clean Spark's pumping. Look at that, it's up about 8%. So I own stock shares in Clean Spark. IBM is doing well. International Business Machine. Stock's up nicely. New all-time high for the day, up about, IBM. I've owned shares in IBM forever. They own Watson Artificial Intelligence and Data Centers. Coinbase. Man, I like Coinbase. Their shares are up this morning about 2%. Coinbase. And TeraWulf. Stock symbol Wolf. WULF. Up nicely in pre-market, up about 4%. And New Holdings. NU symbol. What do? Man, they're up nicely at about 5%. New Holdings, a company that provides digital banking services. So they're based in Georgetown, I guess in Grand Cayman. I think Berkshire Hathaway owns stock shares in Nubank. So I've owned shares in Nubank for quite some time. New all-time high for the year, Nubank. So that's my free alpha for the day. Doing my own research on my prop trading desk. Have increased my position in the S&P 500 on the breakout. Looking good. Increased my allocation to it. My position was negative, not profitable in the S&P, but now it is. So now I start adding to it. And then I'll continue the DCA SPY ETF every day. BKCH is up nicely. The blockchain ETF. It's part of my synthetic Bitcoin mining rig that I invented about 7 years ago. So the stock shares Iron Limited, Coinbase, Bitminer, Applied Digital, Cipher Mining, TeraWulf, HUD 8, Core Scientific, Riot Platforms. Let's see what's going on with Riot. Man, Riot looks like they're having a riot on Riot Platforms. The stock's up 2% in pre-market. So that's what I have. These are the shares I'm looking at. I DCA Bitcoin every 2 weeks. I own it. I hope Bitcoin goes to, dips to $1,000. I own what I own, so I don't trade on the margin. And then it could, and then it goes to new all-time highs above 125 or 126,000. So anything's possible in the realm of speculation. So my increased allocation to the blockchain ETF, BLOK, that owns MicroStrategy is working out well. So that whole peer group in the Amplify blockchain technology ETF is doing great. Again, so I know it's repetitive, but it's worth staying with me to the end. You get free alpha. Robinhood, look at everything's good in the hood. The quantum computing stocks are back. The AI stocks are pumping. Looks like a short squeeze in Robinhood shares. So I like Robinhood. They're in Menlo Park, California. They're doing wonderful this morning, catching a bid. In the last month, the stock dipped as low as like 30%, but now Robinhood is back. They're going to break out above 124.40 a share. Now it's 125 plus. Looking good. Everything's good in the hood on the short squeeze on Robinhood shares, right? So that's what we have. So let's look at the quantum fund. QTUM, Quantum Defiance ETF. These shares, the AI stocks and quantum shares, they got clobbered, in the last 3 months or so, or last month, off huge. The quantum off about 14%. But these stock shares are incredible. Running about 20 minutes, doing great. Stay with me though. Rigetti Computer. Let's see how Rigetti is doing. All this extraordinary, in pre-market, Rigetti was up about 1.5%. But if you look like up in Virginia, here in the good old US of A, they got Data Center Alley, or Valley it's called. All these big tech companies are spending hundreds of billions of dollars building infrastructure for the artificial intelligence and large language models. Is AI going to save the day? So every time, the stock market dips in 1929 and 1987, in 2020, over the lockdowns, the things that we can't talk about, it dips in price like this. Everyone gets washed out as far as the margin is concerned. The smart money always sells into that before it transpires. They start purchasing gold, and then the Fed then tries to save the day with lowering interest rates and then printing fiat currency into infinity in order to so-called fight inflation and defend against unemployment, supposedly. So we're seeing this play out again. So, man, smart money's selling. They're selling the tech shares, while at the same time they're purchasing their shares back corporately. So we'll see how it ends. I remember .com. I traded Yahoo stock shares, Cisco, Intel, all these great technology stocks. And then in 1999, the bubble burst, and then the Nasdaq, the triple Qs, dipped 80%. So after that washout, then we saw the rise of social media and Facebook, and then the acquisition and everything consolidates. So the smart money in tech, they're sellers of their shares. At the same time, they're purchasing tangible assets, bunkers, doomsday bunkers, precious metals, and then hedging against the de-dollarization event. So history repeats itself over and over again. Mark Twain said it best. It doesn't repeat itself, history, but it often rhymes. So here we go again with this AI bubble. So let's look at AI stocks. C3.ai. These stocks have had big retracements, $14 a share. This one share alone, symbol is AI, is off 31% in the last month. So they're going to squeeze back up again. We shall see. Seems like a low risk trade. So I'm doing my research live for myself on my prop trading desk. So my trading plan for the day is to increase my allocation to SPY ETF now that it's profitable. Continue the DCA BKCH ETF, and then block ETF, and that's what I have. And then continue the DCA Bitcoin. I do so twice a month, so we'll see. My last, Bitcoin's pivoting up nicely today. It was at a nice trade at 86,400 on Bitcoin, and I bought some around 81,000, so we'll see. So that's what I have, everyone. Man, having a great day, ready for the holiday, for Thanksgiving, watching football, college football, and stuffing and turkey and cranberries and getting all ready for it. So that's my trading plan for the day. Again, thanks for subscribing to my channel. You can always subscribe down below, link to below there, and then you can see it over here, I believe, my Patreon account. So you can always help support my channel if you like. It helps improve my channel and bring more winning trades and free alpha to my viewers. So I'm looking to scale my channel up and reinvest everything and build it up, and then provide greater content for you people and my viewers. Thanks, and everyone, have a super wonderful day. I give thanks for my abundant supply that's now manifested. I have it now. It's John Taylor, tipping my new Bentley hat to you. Have a great, super awesome trading day, and let the trend be your friend. Thanks.